Islam. Another thing that also I wanted to say, it's still April 29th, 2022. A few days ago, I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday, this black male, he comes into, I think he's black, I don't know. That'll be a description, but he's light complected. He's been coming to Burger King quite often with a black book bag on. And he used to just get a coffee, and he goes in a corner. And he looks to be maybe over 55, over possibly over maybe in his early 60s. So so let me start from the beginning. So I don't know why, but sometimes that I'm only giving a description only. I don't know if they claim a nationality. Thomas, when he speaks to me, you would think he is speaking to someone like you would speak to a friend, like he's angry. For examples, that day a customer said a drink was out. I said, Thomas, the drink machine, whatever it was, whether it was a Diet Coke or whatever, was out. I heard you, Rhonda, I heard you. As he was walking away, Rhonda, it's like that. Rhonda, I heard you, like that. And I don't know if he said anything else, but this is how he talks as he was walking away. And I was like, okay. It sounded like because he walked away, it sounded like, I was like, okay, that means okay. I don't know if he said anything else. So the black male that comes in, has been coming in quite often with, that will order a small coffee, decaf, I think it is. He came and he asked, he had to been there for a while, maybe, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours. He wanted a refill on coffee. And I said, sure. And I was going to give him a new cup because that was usually the procedure that we do when customers want a refill. This is through COVID-19. So when a customer comes and they want a refill, we usually ask them to throw away that cup and we give them a new cup. So, as I was like, okay, no problem. I said, sir, do you mind throwing that cup away? Because I have noticed some employees are not don't do that, but I wasn't quite sure and I hadn't had a chance to ask. Like for instance, some employees are still wearing their masks and some are not. Some are still wearing gloves and some are not. So no, actually I think nobody's, I don't know, well it depends I guess on the person, I'm not sure, but I wear my mask at Burger King. But I don't wear my gloves. I keep my hands washed now that Phyllis showed me the text from CJ saying it's okay that we don't have to wear gloves. So I was telling the customer, I said, okay, no problem. Will you throw away the cup? And Thomas came up behind me and was like, just give Rhonda. He grabbed the cup, and as he was walking away, it sounded like I couldn't tell if he said man or woman, but he had the same tone like maybe 40 minutes or 30 minutes ago when I was telling him about the drink that needed to be changed. But I did, so I said Thomas, because I was like, Thomas, did you say man or woman? Because here's a customer, he's like saying the same tone in an angry manner, and he walked back, he said man. I said, give the man his coffee. I said, oh. James was there, and like James was trying to laugh. I'm not sure. I don't know, but it wasn't funny to me. Because many times I have given testimony of them saying the word man. Take the man's order. Like, you know how, I don't mean to stop right there, but you know how when, so I gave testimony, I thought it was odd. Instead of saying take the guest order, the customer, take the man's order. So, and I've got testimony about that, especially when one of the employees that don't work there anymore, she was like saying the word men quite a bit, and then she was giving away some of the food or some of the things that I was saying, you giving them the wrong size, you giving them this. And I told her, I said, if you stop focusing on the word man, you know, whether that person's a man, and just do Burger King's what they ask, I think you would not give away the food or the merchandise. And usually when she did this, it was a black male when she would say man. So then I didn't think it was funny about that customer with Thomas. And I told the customer, I said, you're a regular, thank you for choosing Burger King and whatever. I did not find it funny. I don't know if it looked like James, because James had a look in his eye like he wanted to laugh a little bit. And I'm not saying I shouldn't say he laughed, but it's like a little, sort of like a smirk. I don't know. I could have misconstrued it, but I was like, in my thoughts, I was like, this is not funny. But he clarified and said man in front of the customer, Thomas did. But nonetheless, I'm like, he's a guest, he's a customer. You know, I don't know him. He doesn't know me. I don't know if Thomas know him personally. I don't know. Then this other black male, who also is a regular, as soon as he walked up to the counter, I noticed James walked in the office at the same time, and he was looking directly towards me, because there's a glass where you can look through and see the cashiers on the front line. And the customer was asking me questions about the survey, and he was like, I can't see, could you read it? And I was like, and James was just sitting there staring at me as I was talking to the black male who also was a regular. And I said, or he was saying, can you tell me about this or whatever? And I told him, I said, you have to call, and then you have to write the number down, and you're able to get a Whopper or original chicken sandwich. And he was like, where does it say that? I said, okay, read right there. It should show you right there on the back of the receipt. That's what he said. That's what I was saying. He said, I need my glasses. Okay, I said, your glasses is on your hat. And he said, oh. And then I grabbed the receipt while I think he was putting the glasses down, I'm not sure, but I grabbed the receipt and I just went in here and started reading. And I said, I apologize. You have to go online, not a number. I've been thinking about 1-800 numbers a lot, so maybe that's why I was thinking 1-800. I said this out loud. And James was staring at me the entire time. It seemed as though when this was happening. Then another thing I noticed, I've heard some people say in so many words, racist still, it's going to be about racism or something. It's going to be racist, she's racist. And I want to say that as well. Islam, my Moorish American nation and family. This is in Annapolis. So, were you among those who have the authority to cause harm and abuse their authority? For example, if you are connected to the Navy and the Army, the police, you've been trained for combat. You've been trained for combat. Not only are you trained for combat, you are trained in learning behaviors of people. You are trained in learning the mind. You are trained in different aspects of the body. And if you are not naturalized under laws of freedom, then you can be used as a terrorist or some form of violent entity. So imagine you have those that are in authoritative position. Not only that, but that are outside of natural law in some form of a humanoid robot or whatever. They think they're a werewolf or whatever, or Birdman, and they trying to implement sex trafficking or some form of amalgamation forcefully without constitutional laws or any other criminal activity. That's the issue that I see. That's definitely, possibly, most likely. I'm definitely saying, and that's going on in Annapolis. I'm I'm gonna say 98.8%, not 98.9% sure, but I'll leave that percent to be. I'm not saying the entire military is not naturalized. I am not saying that, but I'm saying we are among those that are not naturalized because of the behavior of too many. And these are average citizens as well in Annapolis that behave odd. That average citizens, average blacks, average African Americans, average Spanish speaking, they look to be from Mexico, South and Central America, and average pale skin. And then there's the Asian community that seems to try to stay in the background. An Asian community, whether they're from China or Japan or whatever, that seems to try to stay in the background while all this is going on, but definitely they are involved. So I remember on Fox, they said that China, they showed a video. I don't know if it's still there because some of the videos they delete. But they said China controls the presidents of the United States, and they elect the presidents. So they were trying to say, in other words, you can vote all you want, but China controls who is president and who is not. So this was a video of Fox. So that was the implication I got. So they're definitely trying to say you can vote all you want, but China controls who becomes president and who does not. So if that's the case, then the president is supposed to be the commander-in-chief over the military, Islam. And if the president is not naturalized under laws of freedom, and the president, so-called president, is being controlled by a foreign entity, then the military, the United States Navy, Army, and other military branches, and the police are also being controlled by a foreign entity. So one of the foreign entities I think about is the TV. Being a satellite where you have people from Afghanistan, you have wealthy people from Afghanistan, wealthy people from Iraq, you have wealthy people from Arabia, you have wealthy people from China and Japan. You have wealthy people from Korea, North Korea. You have wealthy people from South Korea. You have wealthy people from Russia. You have many wealthy people or entities or energies that can tune in through the TV and control different aspects of a government or a so-called government. So once again, from Afghanistan, you have wealthy people. Baghdad, you have wealthy people. What was it? Baghdad, you have wealthy people in Baghdad. So all the while, you think a military force is being controlled lawfully, and they're not. They're not being controlled lawfully, and so if they're not being controlled lawfully, then they're being used. And if they can be used, and if it's not lawfully, then what does that make them? And if they can be used to cause harm and they outside a constitutional fold, what is it then? So you have entities that are not in the constitutional fold, who don't respect the Constitution, but are able to tune in through the TV, which is a satellite, whether they are from Baghdad, Afghanistan, Iraq, what are some other, Arabia, the word Kuwait. Kuwait is one of a very wealthy, small country. China, Japan, other places where why would they have to respect constitutional laws of freedom? Of another place where they are already controlling that which is supposed to be protectorates of those who are proclaiming or trying to reclaim their actual freedom. So that's the reason why I'm bringing this up, Sheik Dwayne Arrington-Bey, my Moorish American Nation, because it's not a coincidence that whatever I am experiencing in reference to violence and so forth, or unconstitutional rights or whatever, and seeing how close the military is involved. And I'm not accusing anyone specifically. I'm just giving a testimony, and this is in reference to naturalization and being unnaturalized. As Moorish Americans, we are under the impression that all military males and females are supposed to be naturalized under laws of freedom. Thanks. I apologize. But if that which controls them, whether that which is in the military is our artificial intelligence, like a laboratory experiment, a robot, they think they're werewolves, whatever, that which control them have done experiments on them, why would they have the thought process, and they are outside of constitutional law, to not be violent, to not abuse, to not stalk, to not sex traffic, to not be involved in criminal acts of harm? So that was on Fox. I don't watch TV. Money now, we haven't watched TV since 2010. And when we came to Minneapolis, we watched TV for approximately 4 months, and then we stopped. This was in 2016. But ever since then, we stopped. We were watching a movie, the movie station, which we thought was great to watch. But then I said no. So we haven't engaged with the TV, except for what I mentioned, for 4 months, since approximately 2010. On a personal level, where we actually turn it on, we unplug the TV in extended stay. So we unplug the TV in extended stay. We do not engage on the radio. The radio, you turn on the radio, and then you find a radio station. We don't do that. We use the tablet, and we pull up different forms of videos through the tablet. And so how I learned about the Fox was through a video that someone posted of Fox on the tablet. So I'm demonstrating how foreign entities can control a landmass. And now the so-called President Biden of the United States Corporation is saying that this country or this landmass needs to prepare for a food shortage. A food shortage. Anyways, April the 29th, 2022.